What's going on, Yugi2? This is James Polk speaking here, and for today, I am going to do a deck profile on Melodious. And in case they don't know what the monster is that I just recorded in front of them, this is Berta, the Melodious Maestra. In case they don't know what it does, she states that it requires two Melodious monsters. And it also states that during either player's turn, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyards, banish them, and if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. And so basically, you just gotta use it one time only while this card is face up on the field. And this is just something a little bit a rough draft to the extra deck. So right now, this is just 3 copies of Berta from the extra deck. So right now, without further ado, let's get to the deck profile. For starters, we have 2 Mozartas. She states that once per turn, special summon 1 light fairy type monster from my hand, and I cannot special summon anything else the turn I activate this effect except for light monsters. Basically, the monster version of Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. And we have 2 Shopinas. She states that once per turn, you can target 1 light fairy type monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So basically, even if I used up the Honest so much, I could just have her recover the Honest I discarded back turn after turn after turn, the moment I keep on using it. And we have 2 Elegy. I once tried it at 3. It's just the bad timing that I don't mind drawing at least 1 copy of this card, but I just like rather not draw it. But then again, I could just like search it off from the spell cards, which is going to be on the deck profile later. In that case, Elegy states that special summon Melodious monsters I'm in control of are not destroyed by card effects. If this card was special summon, all fairy type monsters you control gain 300 attack. And Elegy is one of the 2 key cards for the self-protection lock. So once she special summon, all you can do right now is that you can still target my Melodious monsters and they can still be destroyed by battle. And the next monster we have 3 Aria. While Aria is special summoned is on the field, Melodious monsters cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. So basically, once you get both Aria and Elegy both on the field, you can just have them sit there in defense and then just like, basically this is pretty much the broken key cards to the deck. So your only way out of these 2 is to find a way to return something to hand, banish something, or basically find a way to shut down their effects without targeting them. And then we have 1 Cannon. She states that if there is a Melodious monster on the field, special summon it, and then once per turn changes battle position. All from a Melodious monster. Then we have 3 copies of the newest card, Soprano. She states that when this card is special summoned, target 1 Melodious monster from the graveyard, add it back to the hand, and then she can also contact fuse with any other Melodious monster. Then we have 2 Serenade. Serenade states that this card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a fairy type monster. And her other effect is, after this card is special summoned, you can normal summon 1 Melodious monster in addition to the normal summon set during the main phase. We have 2 Sonata. Special summon is if you control a Melodious. And while this card is special summoned, all fairy type monsters gain 500 attack and defense. It's pretty good. 1 Honest. Self-explanatory. And then we have Hecatrice. Discard this for Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. Shining Angel, and my 2 secret weapons, Arcana Force X, the Light Ruler, and Arcana Force X, the Dark Ruler. For Light Ruler, if heads, when this card destroys a monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, target 1 card from your graveyard, add it back to your hand. For Dark Ruler's heads effect, it can attack twice, but if it does so, it gets switched to defense. For Tails of the Light Ruler, during anybody's turn, whenever a card or effect is active that would end up targeting the Light Ruler, it loses 1,000 attack. It gets that card or effect is negated and it gets destroyed. For the Tails effect of Dark Ruler, if this card is destroyed, it blows up everything on the field. And both of these guys required the 3 tributes of a special summon or from one of the 2 Arcana Forces. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we have Dark Hole. Then we have 3 first movement solos. You bet you gotta have it if you're playing Melodious. And in that case, first movement solo states that if you control no monsters, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Melodious monster from your hand or deck. And I cannot special summon anything else except for Melodious monsters on that turn. Transmodify, very good in my Melodious build. And it states that send 1 face-up monster you control to the graveyard, special summon 1 deck, or special summon 1 monster from your deck with the same type and attribute, but 1 level higher. Cards from the Sky, remove from play 1 light fairy type monster from your hand, draw 2 cards. Cannot special summon anything else or enter the battle phase if I use cards from the sky. Night Beam, small destruction of said spell track cards. Celestial Transformation, my alternative route from Transmodify. It states that special summon 1 fairy type monster from your hand, cut the attack in half, and it gets destroyed during the end phase. Basically, if I special summon Elegy off from Celestial Transformation, in that case, Elegy stays alive because of Elegy's own effect. Constellar Belt, it states that the activation of light monsters' effects cannot be negated. So even if you're trying to use like Breakthrough Skill or Divine Wrath, it just wouldn't work. So I find Constellar Belt to be very good. Valhalla, because of Hecatrice. And for Valhalla, it states that once per turn, if you control no monster, special summon 1 fairy type monster from your hand. And for the traps, Compulse. Then we have 3 Melodious Illusions. Those are the Forbidden Lance of this trap card, and it gets to make a second attack in a row. Which, of course, I find a trap card which is like very good. And if I were ever to make a combo all from Berta after her effects are used while she's at 3k, I can have her deal with up to 6,000 damage at that point. Beckoning Light. It states that discard all cards in your hand to the grave, then add the same number of light monsters from your graveyard to your hand. 1 Call It a Haunted, self-explanatory. And 2 Miraculous Descents, because of cards from the sky. It states that select one of your fairy type monsters that is removed from play and special summon it. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster. And then when the monster is destroyed, destroy this card. And which, of course, we are going back to the 3 Berta. And for Berta, again, it requires 2 Melodious monsters. And they can be fusion summoned off from Soprano. And for those who don't know what Berta does, it states that during either player's turn, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyards, banish them. And if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each. This effect can only be used only once while this card is face up on the field. And that's it for the Melodious deck profile. If you guys have any questions on what cards to suggest for the Melodious deck build, just please give me a question on it. Just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is James Polk signing out.